My husband brought his childhood sweetheart home, said that his childhood sweetheart was kidnapped and sold, to make amends for the injuries she has suffered over the years. The birthday party he prepared for me, it turned into a welcome party for Harper. After that, my clothes, shoes, cosmetics, even my room was occupied by Harper. I can't take it anymore. And confront Orlando to clarify everything. As a result, he was falsely accused by Harper. Call her dirty and vulgar. Aaron didn't ask for any reason. Threw me into the mountains overnight. When you suffer like Harper and honed your character, then I'll take you back. He completely ignored me for 5 years. It's as if he's forgotten that I exist. I got married and put down roots in the mountains, until Orlando was about to ask the hermit for a favor. The richest man in the mountains came here. He looked at my slightly haggard face. Since the birth of triplets, for the richest man. Suddenly I felt a wave of pity. 5 years have passed. Your temperament should have been reconciled by now. It's like Sarah finishing her birth. And a babysitter is needed. You will be responsible for taking care of her. And children. The summer sun is shining. When I sat on the steps of the doorway with half a watermelon in my hand, soak up the sun. A fleet of more than a dozen Mercedes and BMW appeared. A group of people walked out, looking at the barren and dirty mountain village. Their eyes were full of disdain. The wife of the richest man. The richest man's wife lives here. Unexpectedly, the leader is Orlando. My ex-fiancé, I haven't seen him in 5 years. His friend was a little surprised to see me, with a watermelon in his hand. Orlando, isn't that the melody? Your ex-girlfriend. You send people to the mountains to learn some etiquette. Orlando's eyes lit up when he saw me, but he quickly pretended to be indifferent. That's when I sent her to the mountains. Let her taste the bitterness. Sarah endures and makes her strong. Who would have thought that she would not come back? For 5 years, it has been as tenacious as ever. Everyone looked at me and laughed at me. If she knew by now that Orlando was worth more than 100 million, a well-known entrepreneur in the city, and is about to cooperate with the richest man, she may go crazy with regret. Orlando, you were so heartless. A wealthy young lady, abandoned in this valley, now lowered to this state, rustic and unpretentious. Not even a decent piece of clothing, just a country girl. But I've heard that rednecks are shameless, and oft unhaphazardly. She must have enjoyed the time of her life. Orlando's face stiffened, quelling their increasingly vulgar rumors. Then she looked at me. Now I'm bare of sates, dressed in a plain floral outfit. There is no visible branding. Actually, my husband dotes on me every day. He arranges all kinds of luxuries, cosmetics, and clothes to be delivered to this small valley, just to dress me as the richest man and the most beautiful wife. But after giving birth to triplets, I was severely weak. My husband hired top doctors to help me recover. I am no longer allowed to use cosmetics. As for clothes, comfort is the most important thing right now. Hear their conversation. I know it clearly. My appearance must have made them mistaken for me. They are strictly taught etiquette in the mountains. Seeing that I was silent the whole time, a mutual friend of mine and Orlando sighed in the crowd. Melody. When Orlando sends you to the mountains, hardship. He actually regretted it. The next day, after leaving, he lost his appetite and couldn't think properly. Many days. Orlando. She still cares a little bit about me. Immediately, his face changed. He sneered. Who would lose an appetite for her? It was Harper who was worried at the time. Who has been hurt by her? He cleared his throat and looked at me. It's like offering. Over the years, you have also suffered. Harper had just given birth. As long as you take good care of her and the child, when you go back, I'm still going to treat you like my girlfriend. I was stunned for a moment. Only then did he realize that he and Harper already had a child. The past is like smoke. I have no intention of pursuing it. I was about to wish them all the best. At the same time, reveal my identity. Surprisingly, Harper was the first to speak. Yes, sister. I heard. These women in the mountains, they don't even know who their children's dad is. When they are pregnant, Orlando frowned beside her, as if with some regret. Harper immediately added, my sister must still have feelings for Orlando, so she probably had an abortion. But do it. It will make it impossible to have children in the future. She thought she had scored a point and laughed again. But I believe my sister has learned her lesson. When you go back, help me and Orlando take good care of the kids. We won't look down on you. Others also began to laugh and laugh. Become a babysitter for Goo. It's better to be home than to nibble on a watermelon. In this valley of poverty. Right. Harper doesn't even mind if you hurt her at the time. And willing to give you a chance. Take care of her. Aren't you going to come over and thank Harper? A hint of pride flashed in Harper's eyes. She pretended not to worry. Sister Melody. Just cleaning. Scrubbing the toilet. It won't be difficult. Orlando snorted coldly and glanced at me. At first. It was just to make her a little stronger. And learn some discipline. But she hasn't been back for 5 years. On such a trifle. The hardships were what she deserved. Hear this. My heart tightened. And I thought it was ridiculous. Even now. Orlando is still thinking. Sending me to the mountains was a trifle. The mountains are barren and harsh. In my toughest time. I almost got fed to a wild wolf. If it weren't for my future husband. The richest man Lucian. Who came to hunt in the mountains. Saved me unexpectedly. I'm probably just a pile of bones right now. It seems Orlando. He used to keep saying he loved me. Disappeared a long time ago. I lowered my head and smiled. The past was like smoke. What has been done is what has been done. After all, I'm already a mother of 3. I don't bother to argue with them. My voice was calm. If you don't have anything else to do, get out of the way. The atmosphere froze. After a group of people exchanged glances, they burst out laughing. Harper laughed breathlessly. Her eyes looked at me contemptuously. Melody. It seems. After spending 5 years in the mountains. You can't wait to go back. But do you think we're just here to pick you up? She sneered. A hint of envy on her face. What we are looking for is this lady. Who won all the love of the richest man. Mr. Lucian. Said Lucian. Richest. An airport was built for his wife. So that he can bring her fruit every day. I woman. She is the center of love in the whole world. Can a country girl like you compare? As she spoke. She lifted her foot. And kicked my legs. Orlando raised an eyebrow. Mockingly glanced at the tea basket. Lived in the mountains for 5 years. Haven't taught you yet. Keep your feet on the ground. And recognize your location. Apologies to Harper. I'll take you back. Even it's much better to be an Annie than to be a tea picker. Love this. I ignored him. Pick up the tea basket in front of you. Collected the tea leaves that were about to fall apart. Just because I like to drink tea. My husband bought me more than a dozen tea mountains. Here. A professional tea factory was established for me. Come to think of this. A faint smile of happiness curled at the corners of my mouth. See that I'm just looking at the tea basket. And smiles. A hint of annoyance flashed in Orlando's eyes. He suddenly grabbed my wrist and knocked over the tea. Melody, are you really so attached to this rotten tea? The smudge also curled at the corners of Harper's mouth. Sister Melody, you're not still dreaming. Think Lucian. Richest. Will notice you. Just because you're squatting here. You are. As the words fell. Everyone burst into laughter again. Lucian is known as the richest man in Jingsu. Today. He is a leading figure in the business world. 5 years ago. I was still dating them. But because of jealousy. I was sent to the mountains to learn etiquette. As bootlicker. How can there be any connection between the two? Harper casually reached into my tea basket. Said lightly. This basket of tea is mine. 200 RMB. I'll treat everyone to the tea that Sister Melody picked. I hurriedly pushed her hand away. Don't touch it. This is what Lucian picked especially for me this morning. Orlando looked at me coldly. I wanted 5 years. There will be plenty of time for you to understand something. I didn't expect you to be like this. Covet what doesn't belong to you. Everyone looked at me angrily. Melody. 5 years ago. You're sent by Orlando to learn some discipline. Because of your reckless words. 5 years have passed. And you still speak freely. Did you know that careless conversation can kill people? This time. We came to visit the richest man's wife. As long as she agrees. Orlando's company can curry favor with Lucian. The richest man and soar to new heights. How dare you? Spread rumors of a connection to Lucian. Do you really want the richest lady to look down on us? I slowly raised my head and met Orlando's gaze. Maybe my eyes are too cold. Orlando frowned. A flash of panic flashed in her eyes, and instinctively reached out and touched my face. But Harper grabbed Orlando's hand and cursed me. Melody, you really don't know what is good for you. Orlando has forgiven you. What more could you want? You ungrateful scoundrel. Wasn't it enough that you hurt me before? Now you want to hurt Orlando too. Again. Past whenever Orlando shows even a modicum of kindness to me, Harper would go crazy with jealousy and spread rumors about me in front of Orlando. At first, Orlando still trusted me. But then, no matter what Orlando said, Orlando believed. Just like now. Orlando glared at me fiercely and scolded me. You're really willing to put yourself down. As the words fell, the atmosphere became somewhat silent. Orlando glanced at the floral dress I was wearing. A hint of guilt flashed in his eyes. He didn't continue to insult me as much as he did before. On the contrary, an anomaly. He pulled out a card and threw it in front of me. There are $100 on this card. Think about it. The 5 years of compensation you endured. Come back with me. Buy yourself some new clothes. And you don't have to take care of Harper anymore. That way she won't be bothered. No need to thank me. $100,000 is nothing to me now. Soon I will be the richest man in Jingzhou. Orlando's condescending attitude disgusted me. Since he was connected to my husband's supply chain, life in Orlando is becoming more and more comfortable. His arrogance became even more brazen. I ignored the cards on the ground. Looked at him coldly. No, you don't. I won't go back with you. And I don't need your compensation. With that, I got up and prepared to leave. Orlando was stunned for a moment. Then he grabbed my hand tightly. His voice was cold. Melody, you am not come back with me. Do you really have a wild man now? I shook off his hand, and my voice was calm. We've broken up. Whether I have a man or not, it's none of your business. If Lucian, that jealous fool, saw me entangled with another man, he's going to go crazy. Nothing big will happen though. Just think of his childishness. Spoiled behavior gives me a headache. Orlando seemed to understand something. Glancing at Harper, he snorted softly. The richest lady in Mr. Lucian. A bidding banquet is being held. Within 5 days. I'll take you there to see the world. Witness how a real tycoon lies. At that point, you'll know the gap between us. You will learn how to get along with me. I think it's even more ridiculous. I told you I wouldn't go with you. I didn't hesitate to refuse. This annoyed Orlando a bit. He gritted his teeth and said, Melody, 5 years have passed. But you still haven't made any progress. If you don't want to go, there are many others who will. The timing of the time. I would introduce Harper to the richest lady. Don't regret it. Harper's eyes lit up instantly. She immediately grabbed Orlando's hand, said coquettously, Brother Orlando, do not worry. I will build a good relationship with the richest man and behave well for you. Seeing Harper's defiant eyes, I sneered. Okay. I hope you are doing well 5 days from now. After saying that, I turned and walked away. 5 years ago, Orlando finds his childhood friend, Harper. The abducted person took her home. Everything I had was taken over by Harper. Afterwards, Harper exaggerated and accused me of slandering her. Call her dirty and rude. Harper left me in the mountains without asking why. When you suffer as much as Harper, strengthens your character and learns the rules, then I'll come back to you. Just when I was about to be devoured by a wild wolf, Lucian saved me. 3 months later, Lucian and I had a wedding in this poor place. Valley. Soon had children. That's when I learned it. Jasper is the richest man in Jingzhou. I just recently gave birth to triplets for him. My body is recovering. Lucian makes soup for me at home every day, guarding me as I eat and drink. If he doesn't have anything urgent to deal with, then left the village. I wouldn't sit alone at the entrance to the village with a watermelon in his hand. I wouldn't have met Orlando either. I came to the banquet dressed casually. The moment Orlando saw me, he raised an eyebrow, with a hint of pride in the corners of his eyes. Melody, I know you'll regret it. You said you didn't want to come back with me, but your body is honest. I really don't know when you're going to stop. This habit of saying one thing and another. Go change your clothes. This outfit only embarrassed me. I ignored him and walked to my seat. Just as I was about to sit down, Orlando grabbed me angrily. Melody, did you hear what I said? Now that you're back, you've got to behave well. Do you even know whose seat it is? That's the richest lady's. Are you trying to kill me? I calmly pulled his hand away and said, that's my seat. Orlando's face was even more ugly. The malice in his eyes was, well, Melody, you've been fooling around with some wild man and contracted a dirty disease. And you dare to sneak in. Harper's voice immediately caught everyone's attention. The other guests at the banquet noticed me and immediately began to whisper, Mr. Orlando, is this beggar your friend? Orlando tightened his fingers, his voice calm. No. She snuck in. Harper's lips showed a sly smile of triumph when she looked at me arrogantly. Did you hear that? Get her out of here. I tilted my head and looked at her meaningfully. Are you sure you're going to kick me out? Seeing this, I was still very defiant. Still want to hang out here. Put it this way, Harper reached out and grabbed my hair. I immediately dodged backwards, but someone tripped me. I fell to the ground, out of breath, seeing that Mr. Lucian is about to arrive. To prevent me from disturbing the venue, the people around exchanged glances. Then they surrounded me. I felt someone grab my hands and feet. I panicked and said, stop. I'm Lucian's. Before I could finish speaking, Orlando slapped me. What you're trying to say? The wild man you hooked up with was Mr. Lucian. Before, I had never thought to argue with Orlando, because we're already human, from two different worlds. But now I'm sure I'll make Orlando pay. Orlando's hand instinctively reached for my neck. I immediately ducked. His eyes darkened, and his voice was cold and pleasant. Have you gotten into enough trouble? Sneak over. Today it's just because you saw it. I was about to approach Mr. Lucian. You're about to become famous. And you regret it. You deliberately mentioned Mr. Lucian. Caught my attention. Hopefully I'll be jealous of you. Right. Harper leaned down and looked me in the eye. I know you can't swallow your pride. I know you still love me. For the sake of the past. If you obediently admit your mistake and apologize immediately, I'll get you back to my side. I looked at his inexplicably confident face. He smiled coldly. Orlando, you don't deserve me. Eat one's heart out. I promise you'll regret it. Orlando frowned, about to say something, when someone suddenly shouted, Mr. Lucian is here. The banquet hall fell silent. Everyone had a serious look on their faces and started applying makeup. Orlando doesn't care about anything. Then immediately pulled me out. She lowered her voice, her eyes full of warning. Mr. Lucian is here. Don't say anything recklessly. Also, Sarah and I are divorced. Do you understand? Crazy whether you are divorced or not. It has nothing to do with me. I cursed silently, clutching my bleeding neck. Just wanted to get away from this madman. At that moment, Lucian, accompanied by triplets, slowly entered the venue. In the envious and respectful gaze of the crowd, the delicate triplets attract everyone's attention. I was about to walk over, when Orlando suddenly grabbed my hand. Her tone was condescending. As long as you apologize to Harper, obediently come back to me, I might consider marrying you. Let you give birth to my child. At that moment, Lucian and the crowd noticed me. See fresh blood on my mouth. His gaze tightened. He hurried over with the children. I hugged my arm tightly, my body trembling. The burning pain spread across my face. Blood was running down my jaw. Suddenly, hurried footsteps approached. 3 children ran to me at the same time. The moment Lucian saw me, he seemed frozen in place. His originally gentle gaze instantly became as sharp as a knife. He walked quickly towards me, squatted down and spoke in a low, hoarse voice. Melody, what happened? Who did this? I opened my mouth to speak, but found that my throat was dry. Lucian, you are here. Mom, Nico, the oldest of the triplets, knelt beside me. Tears flowed uncontrollably down his face. Mom, what's wrong? Who bullied you? 2 other children rushed over as well. Hold me tight. Their voices trembled with tears as they wept. Mom, does it hurt? You shed a lot of blood. What should we do? The word mom shocked everyone present. They never thought of me. A plainly dressed woman. It looks no different from a farmer's wife. Except for a little prettier. Actually, it's Lucian's wife. And bore him several children. The people who had just bullied me suddenly turned into a joke. Stand aside. See the concerned look in the children's eyes. My heart hurt like a needle prick. I held back my tears and said, "It's okay. Mom is fine. Don't be afraid." Lucian's expression grew darker and darker. He stood up and looked around, scanning everyone present. The once noisy living room has become very quiet at this moment, because everyone was intimidated by a powerful aura radiating from Lucian. I know Lucian is really angry. He is usually such a kind person. Gentle and polite to everyone. He always had a delicate smile on his face. But whenever it comes to my interests and children, he never hesitates to show his tough side. Every time I was wronged, no matter who the other person is, he was always firm by my side and did not hesitate to protect me. I remember one time at work, an important client is struggling with me. That customer, who feels superior because of his position, praise me and even insult me. I was trembling with anger, but I didn't dare to say it. Later, when Lucian found out about it, he didn't say a word, then went straight to that client's company. In front of everyone, he asked him to apologize to me publicly and compensate me for my emotional distress. After that incident, in the entire capital, no one dares to bully me easily. Finish. There is another time, when I met a couple of thugs on the street. They spoke rudely to me and even did something to me. I was scared and didn't know what to do. But Lucian arrived just in time. Soon. And call the police. At the police station, he warned the thugs with a serious face. If you dare to bully my wife again, I'll make sure you suffer 10,000 times worse than today. Come what may. Lucian will stand firmly by my side. Be my strongest support. Now you see me covered in scars. The anger in Jasper's heart had reached its peak. I could feel the intensity. He exuded murderous energy. I knew he was completely enraged. Lucian clenched his fists. His knuckles turned white with the force. What the hell is going on? Who did this? I looked up. Looked at Lucian's bloodshot eyes. Tears finally welled up uncontrollably. When I choked up and said the sequence of events, each word becomes more emotional, and the pain in my body intensified. Seeing this, Lucian quickly interrupted me. Well, Melody, stop talking. The doctor will be here soon. You should take a break now, and I'll take care of the rest. After saying this, he turned around and said to the personal doctor, "Stand nearby. Doctor, please treat Melody's wound first. Be sure to double-check. Look for internal injuries." The doctor is an old man in his 60s. He has worked for the Shin family since he was younger. He is highly skilled and experienced. Hearing Lucian's words, he nodded hurriedly, walked up to me and started examining my wounds. Lucian then walked to the center of the living room. Survey everyone present. At this moment, Harper Orlando, and a group of friends from Orlando. They were already pale and trembling with fear. Other guests. The people who have been laughing at me don't dare to speak anymore. They originally thought today's events are just an ordinary quarrel. At most, it is a question of paying some compensation. But they never imagined that my identity was real. How is this possible? They always thought I was insignificant. Secondary roles. A rural peasant woman they can bully at will. How everything changed in just a few minutes. Now looking at Lucian's expressionless face, they finally realized. They simply can't be provoked. Moment. The men were so frightened that they couldn't speak. Orlando was even more scared. He never thought he would offend Lucian. After all, Lucian is a human being. His stampede can shake the entire capital. He's usually very low-key. But his methods are extremely ruthless. Anyone who offends him is basically looking for death. He was barely able to get in touch with Lucian. The company's revenue is about to soar. How could it be ruined like this? In this deathly silence, Orlando's friend Jack suddenly jumped out. He pointed at Lucian. "You must be a liar. I don't believe it. Put it this way." He pulled a stack of bills out of his pocket, probably a few $100s. "Then throw them at Lucian." He sneered and took it. "Here's a few $100. Enough for you to leave." Stop pretending to be some kind of ghost here. Everyone was stunned by Jack's move. They never expected Jack to be so stupid. Lucian sees Jack's move. Instantly pale with anger. What did you say? Lucian sneered. Jack was taken aback by Jasper's aura. But he forced himself to remain calm and said, I said you were an imposter. You damn liar. With a crispy popping sound, Jack's words were interrupted by Orlando. Hard Orlando's slap used up almost all of his strength. Jack staggered. Almost fell to the ground. Orlando's voice. How dare you be disrespectful to Mr. Lucian and the richest lady. With that, he kicked Jack hard. Knock him to the ground. It's obvious. Orlando intends to put all the blame for bullying me on Jack. Jack was stunned by fear. He then turned to Lucian to apologize. He said trembling lie. Mr. Jasper, I blindly failed to recognize greatness. Please forgive my ignorance. Lucian looked at the group with a mocking smile. He shook his head lightly and said coldly, You know very well in your heart what you've done. Now scared. Too late. After all that's said, he said to the bodyguard standing nearby, Drag that guy. Tell Jack out first. Yes, sir, the bodyguards responded in unison. Then he stepped forward and took Jack away. The doctor carefully examined my wounds. Cleanse it while comforting. Don't be afraid, ma'am. The wound on your face won't be a big problem. I smiled faintly and said weakly, Thank you, doctor. Lucian has always stood by my side. Hold my hand tightly. His palms are warm and dry. It gives me a great sense of security. He didn't speak. Just looked at me quietly. His eyes were filled with pain and guilt. After treating the wound, the doctor said to me, Madam, it will take a few days for your wound to heal. During this period, you should avoid strenuous exercise. And watch what you eat. Eat more bland foods. Okay. I see. I say gratefully. The doctor packed his medical kit. As he was about to leave, Lucian said to him, Stay home during this time. And keep an eye on Melody's recovery. If you need something, say it out loud. Yes, sir. I will. The doctor nodded in agreement. After the doctor left, Jasper finally. There is time to deal with a bunch of things in front of you. Orlando felt a little uneasy, seeing Lucian and I perform intimately. After all, he never thought about that person, pursued him all the time, and hoped to marry him. Sycophants. Will be the wife of his investment partner. The lifeblood of the company is in Lucian's hands. Makes Orlando angry but unable to speak out. However, whenever he saw Lucian and I moving closely, an inexplicable anger welled up in his heart. That faintly but persistently. Possessiveness peaked at that moment. But for the future of the group, he couldn't let it explode. Lucian looked at him silently, not saying anything. Everyone thinks this farce is over. But only I know that silence is the sign. Lucian was angry. He was silent for a long time. Then he walked up and asked Orlando, What's going on? I want you to tell me yourself. Otherwise I'll make sure you die a terrible death. These words are nothing short of blatant threats. Everyone present has it. Come to the banquet. Get the opportunity to work with Lucian. Except for Lucian. Orlando is the most influential and respected person here. At first, I just watched those people bully me for fun. No one expected such a thing to happen. Orlando was a little nervous when talking to Lucian. Mr. Lucian, I'm sorry. It's all a misunderstanding. Melody is my fiancée. We just happened to come across. And I'm just chasing her. I didn't expect an accident. There was a hint of jealousy in Orlando's tone. This went unnoticed. He obviously knew. Lucian is someone he can't offend. He was also aware of the mention of his fiancée. At this moment, it's tantamount to off Lucian. But he did it anyway. Maybe when it comes to things that concern me, Orlando will always maintain that confidence. No matter how much he hurt me, or the past has abandoned me, he believes that as long as he needs me, he just snapped his fingers, will take me back to him. Love and adore him as always. But Lucian never cared about anyone's feelings. I heard his knuckles crackling, the crisp sound of his joints. And Orlando seems completely unmoved, and even add fuel to the fire. Mr. Lucian must have heard about the two of us. Then how much Melody loved me. It's something the whole capital knows about. It's no surprise that I recall with her right hand. Then, She begged me to marry me. So many years have passed. I'm starting to realize this. I've always loved him. Mr. Lucian. Gentlemen don't take other people's things. You should make us be. Divorced. Melody asked her to marry me. Lucian was seen silent. He turned to me and said, Melody, I can give you everything he can give you. Together we can have another child. You're gone with nothing. All 3 children came to him. But I'll be kind to you. I looked at Orlando. This madman. Shocked. Unfortunately, I shouldn't have been here today. He was almost crazy. Stir up trouble between me and Lucian. Pushing me beyond my limits. Orlando. Stop boasting. Didn't I give you too much face just now? Life? I only love Lucian. I'll never fall in love with you. I remembered his narcissistic and absurd words just now. I couldn't help but laugh. Laughter full of sarcasm and sadness. Orlando. Have you forgotten how you treated me back then? Aren't you supposed to be with your Harper for the rest of your life? I'm living a happy life now. Can you go a little further and stop bothering me? Orlando was stunned by my words. His face was pale and sometimes reddened. His eyes grew more and more flustered. I continued, my voice getting colder. Do you really think you can give me pleasure? I'm no longer a Melody you can command. You are really full of ego. Seeing the coldness in my eyes, Orlando began to panic. He begged me desperately. Melody, I really know I'm wrong. I love you so much. Will you come back? Please. You will. Orlando, I tell you, the thing I regret most in my life. Once loved you. I say firmly, resolutely and undeniably in every word. At that moment, my children joined the debate. They ran up to Orlando and began to laugh at him. Uncle, how dare you bully my mother? Nico asked innocently, although there was a sly glint in his eyes. No. How could I bully Mom? Orlando grinned and tried to hide his embarrassment. Then why do you want her to marry you? Oh, I see your family must be too poor to afford food. So you're here to bother Mom. Right. Never mind. Nico pulls $10 out of his pocket. Then throw it on the ground. To Orlando, Dad said that when he saw a beggar, he remembered to give alms. No need to look for more, Uncle. Orlando was flustered and didn't know how to respond. Uncle, you better stop bothering my mother. She is very happy now. What you do will only make her hate you even more. Nico behaved like a little grown-up. Seriously. She said she would only love me